So, Gavis, there's a picture I sent you yesterday that showed activity on the morning of the 28th. Did you see it?
With respect to what? I'm sorry, I go through thousands of articles right now.
So, yesterday, Kim emailed me a picture of Brian and Gabby
Oh, right.
walking across a street on the 28th
Right.
of the Mountain Trails Gallery.
Right.
Which sets the time back one day, which means
Right.
there was a 24-hour time period. That the time was 13:06, so that would be 1:06 p.m. on the 28th. They're walking in front of that gallery, which means that's a whole 24 hours after the Mary Piglet incident.
Right. If it's true and not faked and all the rest of it. So, yeah. But the one thing that would help clear this all up is that if we could get that exact time and date of all those texts, the stand text and the no
I
service in
know.
Yosemite. Otherwise, like one of these clues or one of these control points, it just creates a deck of cards that just fall down because we don't have enough.
I'll show you guys the picture that I'm talking about. So this is a picture that is, and again, that's all we have. So it's possible that it's not Brian and Gabby, but this is a picture that was taken on the 28th at 1:06 p.m. just down the street from where the Mary Piglet's at. And
yeah, we looked at this photo and we were trying to figure out if he had a skateboard in his left hand and all kinds of things.
Do you guys think that's them? Is that for sure Brian and Gabby? But that looks like Gabby, and it looks like if it is Brian, he has a bandana mask and he's pulled it down.
God, why do we always get pictures that are so unclear and so blurry? And like it's every witness that we get is a blurry picture. Like I feel like I'm getting trolled at every turn. Right.
I'm gonna put this question. I'm gonna put a poll out. Is that Brian and Gabby in the picture? Because a lot of people are saying it's not them. Some people are saying it's them. I was convinced that it's Gabby, but then as I look at it, I'm like, well, it might not be them at all, but it could be them.
I wonder if we could calculate exactly how tall this guy is with reference to maybe that stop sign on the side, because Brian is pretty short and he's very, very slender. So
he's 5'9", right?
Right. So this guy looks a little bigger than 5'9" to me. Like the girl's probably 5'7", right?
So I put it in the poll. Why don't you guys answer it and say, is this Brian and Gabby? Somebody's saying there's no way to know. Heather, can you see the picture?
Yes.
What do you think?
I'm calling in from Australia, so g'day.
Good day.
I was just thinking last night, I saw a great documentary in 2017 called The Florida Project, and it's about these abandoned hotels in Florida around Disney that were built in the 60s and 70s that tourists don't really want to go to anymore, and they're sort of the underclass lives there now, either permanently or temporarily. Junkies, prostitutes, pedophiles.
Get the picture.
Yeah. I just think it'd be a great place to hide.
That's a good point. Go hide in somebody said homeless shelter too is another place.
Yeah, these hotels, they're basically, people that are on rental blacklists. They might be ex-cons. They just pay by the week, no identification, required. They don't have to sign leases, nothing like that. So someone could have paid cash months in advance. You know what I mean? And he could just be hiding out there and maybe only going out at night. And they're inhabited by this underclass of people that, turn tricks from the hotel. They might go up to Disney every day and pickpocket. So they're not the kind of people that are going to snitch on each other, if you get what I mean. And the hotel owners, kind of turn a blind eye to the prostitution and the drug taking and that kind of thing, because they know who their clientele are and obviously want to keep their business going.
Well,
But
it's
also,
a good thought, Heather. Do you have can you email me the location of a
yeah.
particular place?
No, yeah, I just emailed you a link earlier today. It's called the Florida Project, the movie. But yeah, I'm not from the States, obviously, so I'm not sure exactly where these hotels are, but they've obviously been replaced by better hotels. Tourists don't want to stay there anymore. So they're kind
It's
of
in Orlando. Okay. I'm just
Orlando, and we know that the sister's been to Orlando recently, and the parents have been. It's not a stupid place to hide if you're a crook.
Yeah, Orlando's not far from them. So that's a good thought, Heather. Thank you so much.
Great. See you. Have a great day.
Yep. It's a good thought. I'll think about. Kim.
Hey, how are you?
You're the secret intel on this photo, so.
Well, I was just gonna say, a couple people in the chat were saying what I thought after I sent it to you last night. Is I was looking at this, and I told you I found that not alternative timeline, but the timeline with the additional details in Facebook. But a lot of people are saying what I thought. The more I looked at this picture, that really looked like Gabby, but that didn't look like Brian. It looks like someone else. I mean, I think the height is right. I mean, but it just didn't look like him. But in that alternative timeline, that family, the parents of the girl, there was another girl. And I'm sorry, everybody didn't know what I'm talking about, but I sent Tyler a timeline that somebody had put together in Facebook, and the parents of a girl that turned this photo in, that went and got the photo from the museum, the surveillance photo, and it's a surveillance photo. That's why it's so fuzzy. But her parents saw Gabby several times alone on the 26th and 27th at the Wi-Fi platform. Is that what it was called, Tyler? The Wi-Fi platform at the campground, and then saw Brian driving alone. And this photo to me looks like her, but not like him. But then Gavis, you said something about the skateboard. And I don't know if you remember this or where it was, but I remember at some point in time, there was a little boy that came forward that said that Brian gave him a skateboard at the Grand Teton. And everybody was talking about he didn't have a skateboard. But when we were looking at the video last night of the traffic stop, there was a skateboard in the back of the van.
Yeah, and also when he got the tattoo on his hand, that's what he wanted, was the 3 mountains plus the skater.
Gotcha. Okay. So you remember that too, about the little boy saying that he gave him his skateboard? That's odd to me. I mean, they say a lot of times when people think, that they're going away or they start giving away their possessions, if the skateboard was that important to him, that he gave it to this little boy. But it does kind of look like this guy has a skateboard. And then the bandana kind of goes hand in hand with that Dennis Davis, saying that the guy that he saw had the bandana as a mask. So I don't know. I just I was reading everybody saying that, yeah, it looks like her, not like him.
Just looking more at this picture on the fly, like he looks like he's got a beer gut, and Brian is skinny as a rail. So
unless
we can eliminate
on the front.
I don't.
No, that looks like a beer gut to me, because I recognize it. I've got one. So
it doesn't look like a beer gut to me. It looks like
I don't drink beer, but I'm fat for sure.
It doesn't look like that to me. It looks like shadow stuff.
Yeah, it's so strange, because it really, to me, like everything about this picture, and it is fuzzy, so there's no telling, but everything about this picture to me screamed Gabby, but I didn't feel the same way about the guy. Like, I don't
ever remember seeing Gabby in a white sweatshirt like that. She had a really good blue one, but I didn't remember seeing her in a white one. So that's why that picture kind of threw me off. So for now, I don't think we could put that as something we can mark as a peg.
So I'm going to open it up on Photoshop so we just get a closer look. So I think just as I'm looking at this, get a little closer angle.
I think this guy's got boobs.
This area that I just highlighted, that area could be a beard or could be a bandana, first off. All right. That could be a beer gut or could be a shadow. That could be an indication of people who have beer guts poke out a little bit in that area as men as well. Or it could be a backpack and it's putting weird pressure like a strap.
Yeah, it almost looks like a strap or like, some sort of like something carrying across his chest. But, I mean, I don't want to be maudlin, but, Gabby, her dad or stepfather said that she was found in her favorite sweatshirt. If this was hours before.
Yep. And that she wore a gray sweatshirt. I watched a video about what people thought was her favorite sweatshirt. I can't tell if that's white or a light gray, and she had a light gray one.
I have I know it didn't help much tonight, but I have you know what I do for a living, and I have a guy that works for me who's a photo restoration expert. I'm a CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. I'll see if he can restore this photo or if he can clear up this photo any.
This people talking about his feet. I don't know how he walked, as people said, but I don't think you could tell how somebody walked in this footage.
Yeah, I'll see if the guy that works for me can do anything to this photo and see if he can clear it up any. It just, for some reason, it looks like if that's Gabby, whoever the girl is, she's got a mask on too. It's just white.
Right. I can try to sharpen it, but I don't know if that's going to do anything. So,
and somebody was saying, don't they usually wear shorts? But I think the temperature was really cold this day. The night, I know.
I'm sharpening it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't buy this picture. I don't think this is a positive identification.
It looks more like a mask. Now that I've done that, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't know. I just found it and I sent it to Tyler because it was so strange that this timeline had events on the 28th. And this wasn't the only thing on the 28th, was it, Tyler? There was a few other things that were on the 28th.
So on the 28th, TikTok user Once Upon a Time comments on Steel Girl's 20th video saying, hang on a second, saying she allegedly saw Gabby walking towards their van. Also on the 28th, Instagram user Ryan_Burke states he allegedly saw Gabby's van at 21:30 in the Lupine Meadows trailhead. Also on the 28th, this picture was taken 3 minutes from the Mary Piglet, 3-minute walk from the Mary Piglet. So that was sort of the rundown of things that had happened on the 28th.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Gabby. I'm not sold either way. It's just when I originally looked at it, I was like, this is interesting. It looks like Gabby. But the guy doesn't look like Brian to me, I don't think.
Let me look at the poll. It's like 32% are saying yes, 69% are saying no. So it's interesting, though, just food for thought. It's not, to me, we can't make a final determination. I lean towards the chat. I'm like 70% no, 30% yes.
I think I am too.
If it was just her, I would lean more towards yes. That looks a lot less like him than what others have been saying. So,
yep. Well, okay. I'm gonna hop off, but that's all I wanted to say. I just was trying to type it, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna jump in and say it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for calling in and keep sending me the good insight, Kim.
Yeah.